If you listen to the wrong people about living in Las Vegas, they are absolutely going to paint an image that is false. But I'm going to separate the truth from the lies about life here in Southern Nevada. So, in talking about what it's really like to live in the Vegas Valley, I'm going to share some things with you that I've gathered over the 12 plus years that I've lived here, even before I lived here, when I talked to several people about moving here. Some who had lived here before, some who never had, and it's interesting to hear the different opinions and perspectives that people will have on this. So, I'm going to help you guys guide through this whole thing about what it's actually like to live here in Southern Nevada. And for that guidance, if you guys need more of it, I'll put a QR code or a link down below. I am a licensed real estate agent and mortgage loan officer. So whether you're looking to buy, sell, or rent, I'm able to help you with that process. So you have a team on the real estate side and a team on the mortgage side working together with you to help you in that whole situation. So I've had people buy down in the 300s as far as home prices, and I've had people buy in the multiple millions. So no matter what price point, I got you. So living here, I remember thinking about it and, bouncing the idea off of a few people before I did. I'm glad I did not share with too many people, okay? Because when you have like an idea that's kind of in its infancy, if you share with someone, especially with someone that's close to you, maybe you trust or you value their opinion, you respect them, and they crush your idea when it's just like little, that can be kind of a downer, to say the least. So I want to share that because, some of the things that I had heard back then, when I look back at it now, I'm like, oh my God, they were so wrong. And I'm glad I did not listen to them. I'm glad I did not take their advice. So we'll start with one that a lot of locals can relate to, and we'll be talking about, I'm sure, in the comments, is so many people, when they think of Vegas, they've never lived here, but they visited, all they think about is, of course, the Strip area, or downtown, or the touristy stuff, right? They think of the drinking, the partying, the gambling, right? Sin City, all that sort of thing. So there's a big reason why I'm actually here today at Mountains Edge Regional Park, because you guys, look around. Do you see any strip clubs? Do you see any DJs? Do you see loud music? Do you hear the loud music, right? Do you see any crazy pool parties going on around me? That's not what life is like here when you live here. So I do remember hearing that when I was talking to one person who said, well, I don't know why anybody would want to live in Vegas. They said, you take away the casinos, what else is there? I'm like, well, I don't know why people would want to live in Las Cruces, New Mexico, but like 100,000 plus people do, and they don't have the casinos that we do here. So people obviously choose to live here because they find value in it and they enjoy it. I had another person I spoke to I used to work with back in California, and I was talking about moving here to Vegas and working either in hospitality, something like in the club scene or something like that. And he goes, oh man, Vegas is boring, bro. He's like, there's nothing to do out there. And when he told me that, I was like, I gotta say, I haven't lived there yet, but it is Las Vegas. I gotta imagine, even though there's a lot of stuff on the Strip and downtown, I'm pretty sure the locals don't just live a super boring life. Now, if you want to, you can. If you love the peace and quiet, you can absolutely have it. But if you want the action, it's there. So I say that because so many people are going to throw out their opinion when you think about moving to Vegas or living here, and their opinion is like just this, they have like this walk-in closet perspective of the Strip and maybe like downtown from when they came here for their bachelor party or when they came around a vacation as a family when they were kids or something like that. And that is all they know. They know this, truly like this strip of the area, but they don't know anything else outside of it that we call the Vegas Valley. Something else you'll commonly hear people talking about and freaking out about when it comes to living in Las Vegas or the idea of moving here is our water amount, our water supply, from Lake Mead especially. This is one, I did a video on this a couple of years ago because, oh my gosh, there was so much freak out online in digital media and in mainstream media about what was going on with Lake Mead and the water levels getting lower. And that's something a lot of people have concerns about because they hear that when they move here or when they're thinking about moving here. So let me get some of that crap out of the way right now. So Vegas is not going to be a ghost town anytime soon. And when you hear people freaking out online, like I remember seeing a comment in the past about someone said on one of my videos, like, oh, the water level's getting lower and the government's doing nothing about it. That's incredibly stupid because for over 2 decades, Southern Nevada has been taking measures to cut back on our water usage from Lake Mead. Because of all the states and Mexico that share water that comes from the Colorado River, Nevada gets the lowest percentage. We get just under 2%. It's 1.8%. But guess what? We don't even use all of it. We don't. Our population has grown, as of a couple of years ago, we'd grown 750,000 people. And we use 26% less water than we did back then. Why? Because they put in measures to cut back on the water usage. So new homes, you're not going to find a bunch of new homes in Vegas built with a front yard with grass. desert landscaping is what you're going to see. They cash for grass programs where they actually pay people. They're paying them to remove the grass from their front yard and replace it with desert landscaping, so basically rocks instead. They also removed non-functional grass. There was a law passed about that several years ago. So you see grass like along the highways or just roads, it really serves no purpose other than to just look pretty. Yeah, the plan, it was to pull that out and limit that, because what purpose does it serve, right? It needs water to grow, and that's taking water that we need. Also, when it comes to water, a lot of people don't realize, yes, Lake Mead supplies 90% of our water supply. We have 10% underground, but the water we use here gets recycled. So when you turn the spout on at the sink or the shower, whether it's in your place of residence, apartment, your house, a hotel room, it goes down the pipes, right? That water actually goes and gets filtered and gets recycled and gets reused again. It's basically 100% of our water that goes down the drain gets recycled. Southern Nevada has been a leader, nationally for sure, arguably even globally, as far as water conservation, because the signs were there 20 plus years ago that, hey, if our population keeps growing, and we don't find a way to cut back on our water usage, then we will be in trouble. Then we will be in a big world of hurt. But they've made these measures and put them in place to cut back, so we've been able to grow, and actually use less water in the process. Now, Lake Mead's water levels do go up and down, every day. They've changed since I've been talking on this video. But they do go up and down, and the other thing to keep in mind with those water levels, you would probably hear the term a lot, dead pool, people would say, when the water levels are getting low, right? Because in 2023, for a good part of the year, they were around 1,050 something feet. 2024, they went up to like 1,060 something feet. In 2025, largely around 1,050 something feet. But people were worried about getting to dead pool, which means that the water goes to 895 feet. Dead pool means the water could no longer flow through Hoover Dam down to California, Arizona, and Mexico. Well, even if it gets to that level, we actually, Las Vegas, still have access to the water because we have one of the intake pipes that goes down to 875 feet. So we have 20 more feet of water that would just be ours if it actually got that low. So Arizona, Nevada, or Arizona, California, Mexico might be in trouble, but we'd actually be okay. And they're looking at, as your late 2024, early 2025, that intake pipe actually lowering it even more by 40 feet. So say it even gets a worst case scenario, we still have access to that water, even if Arizona, California, Mexico wind up getting cut off. So Vegas is not going to be a ghost town anytime soon. So when you hear people freaking out about that online, or you're thinking about moving here and you're worried about the water supply and people telling you all the negative stuff like, we're going to be abandoned and we're going to be this empty desert town in a few years, that's a bunch of crap. Something else you often hear people say when it comes to living in Vegas, and I heard this before I moved here, and I've heard this definitely plenty since I've been here online, and it's about who Vegas is quote unquote a good place for, right? Or who, quote, should or should not move to Vegas. And again, this comes from a lot of people who've never seen outside of the tourist area. So when they think of Vegas, or you think of, oh, you're moving to Vegas because your job transferred you, or you're just thinking about moving to Vegas on your own, or as a couple, as a family, and people oftentimes have their opinions about what they think it's like to live there based on what they know of the tourist area. They think, oh man, Vegas is only for people like young people in their 20s and 30s, which is actually when I moved here, so it's kind of ironic. But they're like, no, that'd be a bad place for families. You wouldn't want to go if you're going to retire there, right? It's too fast paced if you want to retire and, enjoy those slower years of your life and that sort of thing. But that's a bunch of crap. Like, it really is. There's over 2 million people in the Las Vegas area right now. And I can tell you, not all of them are in their 20s and 30s. Not even close, okay? The Clark County School District has over 300,000 students in it, right? Those kids come from families. And think of all the kids who are not of school age yet. And also think of the kids who either go to private school or they homeschool or maybe some online program or something else where they're not in the public school district. So you also think too, retirees who want to come here, this is a very popular state for retirees. A lot of them because they're tired of cold weather and or getting taxed to death. So you got a lot of them who come here for those two things they're getting away from because we have good weather, we have no state income tax, and we have some of the lowest property taxes in the country. But we have plenty of 55 and older communities if you want that. If you don't, there's still plenty of other communities. Lots of outdoor activities that you can enjoy whether you're retired or whether you're a young family. You can go and do things like hiking. We have movie nights, right? Town Square, downtown Summerlin, Container Park. Those places all do movie nights in the springtime and like summertime, especially when kids are out of school. You can go and enjoy those outdoors. Weather's nice in the evening time outside. You enjoy those communities. All sorts of communities and neighborhoods have community events they do. So, you go online on their website to like pay your HOA fees, but you also have a calendar of events that you can go and see. So you can actually go and look at these before you even move here to see what a potential community you want to live in, what they actually offer. So they'll have, events for 4th of July, Memorial Day weekend, community-wide garage sales, and things like that that you can participate in, and that builds your community that you're in, so you get to meet people that way. So, despite what you'll hear about it just being for young people into the crazy party scene and the fast-paced life, if you want to live 20 plus minutes away out in the quiet, you can do it. There's plenty of options here for you. So don't listen to all the BS about people saying stuff like that. Just notice that most of the people who are going to be saying that stuff online don't have the experience of actually living here at all, or any experience of the local side of things outside of the tourist area, the strip, downtown, and all the party stuff. So no matter where you're at, if you're thinking about moving to Las Vegas, I'll have the QR code up here and a link down below. You can use either one of those to get in touch, fill out the form. We'll be happy to help you through that process. Like I said, I'm a real estate agent and mortgage loan officer here in Nevada, so I can help you with both those processes to help streamline it and get you going ASAP when it comes time for you to make that decision and you decide you want to go that route. But I appreciate you watching. I'm Jacob, and this is My Life in Vegas.